feel alright. If I come body, baby go say you the totally, and I no want to the bother you, but I want to if it show me. If I come body, baby go say you the totally, a royal majesty, begin with fine like this, so I post it with me, begin with fine like supposed to be. I promise to kiss you before you wake up, love you without the makeup. Baby, don't break up. I touch down before the takeoff. Yeah. Happy if you check out. True talk, I know they run scam. All true for my area, so I for like give you your own crown. Yeah.
For the week, hey, it's an amazing time to be on radio, 6 to 7 p.m. your number one drive time sports show on radio in the city of Friday to Saturday to Sunday to the early hours of Monday morning. It was sports or sports. Wow, the World's Formula 1 this weekend. And guess what? Yet again, it looks like McLaren have got a 5 seconds point deduction for passing outside of the arc. We'll talk about all of that on the show today. The Barcelona Open as well. And the favorites, Carlos Alcaraz couldn't win it. Ogeron actually came in and ruined his home party. We'll talk about all of that on the show again as well today. Liverpool need only 3 points out of available 15 to be crowned the Premier League champion for the second time in 5 years. How well have they gone this season? Trent Alexander-Arnold, he got a goal yesterday that relegated Leicester City back to where they belong, the English Championship. We'll talk about all of that all on Wednesday at the Emirates Stadium. If they fail to lose, Liverpool will become the Premier League champion even without kicking a ball. For Manchester United, it looks like you can put your money on the fact that Onana is going to consider that'll probably make Declan Rice jealous. Remember the first leg against Real Madrid in the quarterfinals of this for Ayimba, they defeated Kano Pillars by 2-1. Until the providers left the stadium under heavy sitas and they won away from home yet again. To further the show today, once again, you're welcome. There was WrestleMania 41 yesterday night into the early hours of this morning, and boy oh boy, about John Cena, and of course he defeated the defending champion for the undisputed champion. If you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Okoyemi Akande. They call me the host with the most on this show, and if you're gracious enough, you call it Peruzzi. Only God knows where he is right now, but this song, evergreen, amazing. Good to have you join us on the show, and I don't get to run this show alone. I've got my right hand man. They said the one they won the last time was the COVID title. This time around, they could win it with as much as 13 points ahead of an Arsenal side that have finished PSG in a double-legged semi-final in the FA Champions, and Empoli to their 11th loss in 18 Serie A games. What a weekend it was!
Monday is holiday, and coming to the office on holidays is kind of,
it's good. The road is.
It literally took a step closer, to win the Premier League in that particular one. We also had Arsenal as well, trashing Ipswich Town as well, 4-0 at Portsmouth Road. Leicester City as well, also got it. Leicester have not really done the Foxes faithful so well this season. But apart from that, I think first was Real Madrid coming back to.
Last season,
come on.
I think La Liga goes. Valverde does not score the goals that VAR will check. There's nothing VAR is looking for. You cannot score from almost the midfield and VAR. What is VAR? The VAR wants to measure the speed of the shot. It was a tough game. A game they needed to win. Especially with Barcelona having to come back from 3-1 against Celta Vigo to win 4-3.
That was another Lara Montana. And that also, I think, that's put Rafinha on maybe to win a Ballon d'Or. Then it means the sport has come down. What exactly do you mean?
The sport is down.
No.
So what is that? Better impact than Lautaro Martinez. Last year,
Rafinha is also there as well, scoring the goals.
So what stand them out? Lautaro Martinez has been so consistent the last 3 years. Martinez had won everything you could win in world football.
Personally,
even for country.
I felt he won the Coppa Italia as well.
You got to the semi-final of the Champions League.
No, come on. But apart from that, I just feel like Rafinha is just there. Maybe you have to.
No, that goes I don't get as much PR as the English Premier League or as the Spanish La Liga would get. Because I mean 6.
Exactly.
And that was because Italy won the World Cup and Juventus also won the Scudetto and the Italian Cup. So and he was the captain of the Italian national team also.
Exactly.
Because he won the Champions League with Inter Milan.
He won the Scudetto.
He won the Scudetto, won the Italian Cup.
93
that scored 93 goals in a calendar year.
Yeah, exactly.
And guess what? At that World Cup, Messi did not score a single goal. He knocked out in round of 16 by Germany on Diego Armando Maradona's birthday.
Exactly. There was a change over time because back in 2010 it was about the number of goals. Back in 2018 as well, when Luka Modric also won the Ballon d'Or, it wasn't about the goals. You take a look as well at 2021 as well. It wasn't about the goals when Robert Lewandowski was also meant to win.
Standard which you use.
Exactly.
If the goals are spreading like wildfire, and then maybe there's a started getting the goals, then you start looking for the tiniest of details. Margins, but this time around, it looks like Rafinha just, and of course, he's not scored in a while right now, and it looks like he won't even score to the end of the season. Hey, there's so much talk about on this. Unfortunate for Leicester City. First off, I think the goal by Cody was not an infringement on Liverpool's goalkeeper. I think sometimes what will have happened if Leicester City's goal has stood. But of course, Trent Alexander-Arnold again came in as a sub, watching his post-match analysis rather, and then the analyst was asking, put 3-0 to 3-3. That quick corner kick he took for Divock Origi's goal. I mean, so they asked him, was yesterday's goal? Fans after the game, does that show that there's an answer to the end of?
I mean, I think the answer he gave is one that any politician will be very, very proud of. He gave it very, very diplomatic. Okay, I mean, when he made mention of the fact that he's very, very proud to be proud of those moments, and then he also gave a lot of.
He gave a lot away.
Cryptic messages. Exactly. First of all, there was the incident of Tsimikas putting up 5 fingers. Virgil van Dijk also put up, and Luis Diaz literally. There's also another.
Go and acknowledge the fans.
Yes.
It probably would have sent a clear signal that it's saying thank you for your support.
Yeah.
But it will be crowned. In fact, they would have been crowned champion
before they play.
So Tottenham Hotspur would have to form a guard of honor at Anfield.
Yes.
So Arsenal beating Ipswich means that Liverpool will not win the league away at Leicester City Kings Power Stadium.
Exactly.
But I think Tottenham's body, soul, and spirit, their past, their present, and future is on Bolo Glint right now. So I'm sure they don't
want to risk it.
Now they know they can't relegate.
Yeah, exactly.
Fact. So Glint, and you would understand why if they win the Europa League with an automatic qualification for the Champions League.
And he also gives Ange
Postecoglou contemplation of two second season trophy, and that will be massive. That will be massive. That will be really massive. Well, let's suspend all of these analysis. On the turn of 6:30, we'll have enough for Nana. The funny thing about Nana is the way he gets up when he concedes goals. He just get up and drink water like, hey, I'm
a club. I'm unbeaten in Europe, but overbeaten in England.
Manchester United.
I was on there. Did you see Puja's 11:30 p.m. last night?
It was a bad event. It was a bad evening for Manchester United at Old Trafford against Wolves. By the way, Wolves have done the double over Manchester United for the first time since 1980. And guess what? Wolves are on a run of 5 games without a loss.
I think they actually the last 5 games they've not lost the game. They've not lost the game, and I think that was what made them get.
I think they were pretty confident. Did you see the miss of Højlund yesterday?
He's the best striker that Manchester United have at this point in time. Højlund as the starting striker.
So I'm now looking at wins tonight.
Yes. Against
if they win against Nottingham Forest tonight, Man U will drop to 15. Tottenham will move to 13th. West Ham will come to 14th.
Of things that the Premier League will give that any other league will not give.
Exactly.
Take a look at the game we're talking about on Friday. Aston Villa up against Newcastle.
We thought it was going to be a wild win of handball. No wonder Arsenal were asking for PSG.
Immediately they scored 2-1.
It was done.
It was done and dusted.
It was done.
You
knew. If they had come in at Villa Park with a 2-1 defeat, they will have done the job. they will have done the job. Well, let's run you through this.
Yes,
I will always mention Nigerian Premier Football. You can't take that away from me. There's nothing you want to say about
the NPFL is not in Europe.
In the world, depending on where you choose to stay.
And the title race is also going hot as well.
Absolutely hot. And the action started on Friday evening in Spain. Espanyol defeated Getafe by 1-0, and in the French League on, it was Rennes versus Nantes. Stadium in Katsina. Katsina United played 2-1. Lobby Stars already relegated lost at home to Enugu Rangers by 4-2 to Crystal Palace at Sᴘᴏ David Moyes Stadium. The Goodison Park will be demolished at the end of the season. For West Ham United, they couldn't secure a win to help their promotion, their safety rather. Cause it was a bad to win the remaining games of the season.
Even if they win.
That's what I'm saying. They need to win the remaining game of the season and hope that West Ham loses by a total goal of 14. And then Ipswich should have to win all their games before they go through. Okay, for Aston Villa on Saturday, from Iṛyᴜᴜ assist for Fʀᴏᴜ, also equalized in the 18th minute from Abi Barnes, and in the second half, on goal to make it 3-1, and of course, Amadou Onana scored the final. And the funny part is that Newcastle have gone 6 games without and they've used the same set of players. Exactly. The only game they had to drop a player for another player, they lost by 4-1. Well, in the Spanish La Liga, early kickoff, Rayo Vallecano played a 1-1 draw with Valencia and set a final goal for them in that one. Unfortunately, Lewandowski is injured and he just may be out for the rest of the season. Well, lost at home against Bayern Munich by 4-0. Freiburg and Hoffenheim played a 3-2 victory for Freiburg. For Freiburg, for Mainz 05 played a 2-2 draw with Wolfsburg. RB Leipzig scoring a game over the weekend. Union Berlin and VfB Stuttgart played a 4-4 draw. Well, Como 1907 Leipzig at the end of the season because he's doing some amazing stuff with Como 1907.
It's time will be done by summer.
I think so too. For AS Roma, and McTominay has scored
10 goals.
He has scored more goals than all Manchester United strikers combined.
I was going to think.
So the problem is not the players. Wow, AS Roma also defeated Hellas Verona to push for an European finish in the Italian Serie A on. Marseille defeated Montpellier by 5-1. Those were games that were decided on Saturday and yesterday at home rather against Ikorodu City, the Oga Boys like they call them. And like we said, I started seeing the news filtering that they've also been held to ransom in the stadium. So I reached out to Sam, the media officer, and they got escorts, heavily armed, police trucks. Played 1-1 draw with Bayelsa United, Heartland Football Club of Owerri, and the Afroja Warriors, Kwara United, a demand that was almost slaughtered by Nasarawa United at the Lafayette Township Stadium. Southwestern Derby by 1-0 in that particular one. Of course, Oyo are getting the first goal by the 30th against Nasarawa United. A very big result for Nasarawa United as they are, also trying to, of course. So let's quickly run through the MPFL tables real quick so that we can know that it's not just the English Premier League guys, but Warriors. By the virtue of their goals difference, they've got 53 points alongside Abia Warriors, but Premier Football League this season, but they've considered more goals than. Meanwhile, Ikorodu City have scored 52 goals, but they've considered 35.
And they're also the first side to score 50 goals.
So they have a plus 17 goals difference. So they are topping Aquato on the table where they have to let go of the manager and then they have to restructure. And now they are pushing for a CAF Confederations Cup, place, and it's an amazing season for them.
The most intriguing thing about this is that from 5th, Ben Insurance and
also some sweet story for Plateau United. Remember, they were deducted 3 goals and 3 points this season, and then Coach Magut was given a 3 such.
Because they can still even go for that.
Let's run 49 Shooting Stars Sports Club of Ibadan and 48. Kano Pillars are in 47. Bayelsa United are in 46. Plateau United are in 45. Kwara United are in 44. Katsina United are in 44. Niger Tornadoes are in 44. In 14 position. El Kanemi Warriors of Maiduguri are 15 with 43 points. Atlant 17th with 40 points.
Okay, you know that Nasarawa United can still even qualify
for Europe.
Yes.
Yeah, they can.
Europe.
It doesn't look like
just.
Have you seen Nasarawa United's next fixtures?
Let me check it.
Check it. You tell me that. Have you seen their fixtures?
Wow. Their next game is against Atlanta Owerri.
That's a big match.
That's a big game. So looking for the fixtures as well.
Okay. Akwa Ibom Stars Football Club of Akure are also in 19th position with 38 points. And of course, already minus 22 goals difference.
Wow.
They've conceded this season. Wow. For Lobby Stars, they competed to win the league last season.
They've had five
managers. They even brought Oyinbo one time like that. Bullied. I get it. Nigerian Premier League is not your mate. Okay, let's run to other results. The London derby yesterday at Craven Cottage. Chelsea, they said 65% downloaded Bukayo Saka. Terry George equalized for Chelsea. Yeah. And of course, the man that knows
both of them.
They said it's and of course, the Portuguese star got the winning goal for them in the 93rd minute. It's 8th of December.
For them now, they have to do it at their landlord's house.
Well, it's okay. They feel beautiful for your house.
Wow.
For Arsenal getting his 50th goal for Arsenal, and of course,
how will he celebrate? He said, you know now.
Well, for Manchester United, it's one problem for a fantastic free kick right then.
Bruno Fernandes called it from his sleep.
I'm talking about the champion Trent Alexander-Arnold getting into that game as a substitute and getting the goal. Is their second Premier League title in 5 seasons, and of course, confirmed Leicester City to Championship football next season. For Osasuna, they've taken Real Valladolid by 3-2 in the Spanish Alavés, and Real Madrid had to wait till almost about the last kick of the game by Ernesto Valverde to get the Wolfsburg play the goalless draw against entrenched Frankfurt, and Borussia Dortmund defeated Borussia Mönchengladbach by 3-2, and St. Pauli also defeated Inter Milan by 1-0, and AC Milan lost at home to Atalanta with 1 point. Napoli are closing following them with 71 points, but on inferiority. Well, they're not really out.
Yeah,
7 points.
7 points.
There's still about 5 games to go.
5 games to play.
Otila.
7 points.
Bologna would also most likely be returning to the Champions League. Good Juventus for them. It seems the Europa League would manage them if they don't stay where they would 3 at drift of 4th place Serie A games indefinitely.
So if you actually take a look at the Ligue 1 table, you see that PSG are in first with 77 points.
They've won already.
Yeah, they won exactly. And then we have Nice, Lille, Brest in the 5th, 4th, and 9th position respectively.
Nice, Lille, Brest. What exactly are you trying to do? This is an adult show. Kids are listening. Well, Nice versus Angers played a 2-1 victory in favor of Nice, and Reims versus Toulouse 1-0 ended in favor of Reims. At 7:10, the world. Today, there's Monday Night Football at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Nottingham Forest. It's a strong game that not PM against Real Betis. So those are the games that we also across all of the major leagues Europe over the weekend.
You must be safe, but you can pass the test.
Well, for the lovers of wrestling, stage in Las Vegas, the undisputed WWE Championship match between Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, and of course, John Cena won that one with some twist. Cody Rhodes was on the advantage, and of course, I mean, this for everybody else.
Not above
17 championship titles.
Not above the Undertaker.
Well, the numbers are saying something different.
Even John Cena respects Undertaker. Nah,
it's not. Nobody is saying John Cena does. See, you don't understand. I can give you 10 wrestlers.
Okay.
That are in terms of acceptance. That are. John Cena is not relevant.
No. I'm not saying
John Cena has been the face of WWE in the last 10 years plus. Last 12, 15 years.
But it's unfortunate that he's aging as well.
Everybody would age,
definitely.
But I mean, for you to think he's aging, see, when the build up to like yesterday now was supposed to be this morning, earlier hours of this morning.
He was actually the underdog. John Cena was the underdog.
John Cena was the underdog. Yesterday was taking a bow. In fact, when he was coming in, there was no run. He came in.
I think he'll be back in the ring. This
he's gonna be back. He's got a belt.
Yes.
So he's got the undisputed WWE Championship belt. Atokilara Vivraka, Becky Lynch. Both of them defeated Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, making them the new champions. Well, there was also Logan Paul. Even the fans did celebrate when he won. But of course, it was a good fight.
He has also
in that game. Randy Orton, the Viper himself defeated Joe Hendry. Whoever advised Joe Hendry to come into the ring? Joe Hendry is the TNX champion.
You left Smart, go to lik or something.
We don't the funny thing when he came in yesterday and you not because an injury to his challenger. So even Randy Orton didn't know who he was fighting
exactly.
because when they made the picture there was a question mark. No, they didn't reveal the face of his challenger. So we were just as Scott Parker, and it was exactly what Scott Parker did to Bakoli. I lied. Randy Orton then his son picked him and gave him the neck break. I defeated Braun Breaker, and of course I saw that fight. Very interesting one there. The Sin City Street fight, no rules, no hold bar. I was between Drew McIntyre and of course Damian Priest. Drew McIntyre beats Damian Priest as if tomorrow no day. Well, there was also the Triple Threat Women's Championship match between Io Sky and the Bianca Belair and Rifflin. Portable. I lost. See, I followed the build up to that. See what those guys are doing. There's some amazing stuff. I followed the build up to the fight. Portable is a street paw. Portable is like bros. You think this one is Aki conversation?
I think this was a case of who is the craziest.
It's not even that. For a fight.
So
in fact, I now went to follow the build up. I watched his training. Portable trained like he was ready for a You have to live well and live right. Well, the twist on that is that there are reports that Arlington. So Speed Arlington is asking for a rematch, and Portable said about some tennis stories. Well, in the just concluded Barcelona Open, the final of the Barcelona Open, winning 7-6, 6-6, 6-2 to end his 2 years to the top 10 in the world. His homecoming party. I was supposed to be the fans' favorite for that one. Match, the Spaniard shot for shot and held firm in the fight in the tight moment to beat his childhood friend 7-6, 8-6, 6 for Ogeron forced to retire in Monte Carlo last week with illness, said afterwards when he beat him. Rune 21 said, I kind of played it in my mind. The Olympics fan, I thought to myself, let's try to play that kind of style. It really make me play a lot of balls. I'm really happy about how I started composed when it really mattered, and I was also very brave when it mattered the most. Alcaraz, who has been bidding for a third Barcelona title in 4-10 on Monday, Alcaraz will be replaced as world number 2 by Alexander Zverev. Germany's Zverev beat Ben Shelton 6-4, 6-2 in the Munich encounter between two players born just 6 days apart and who have been playing one another since they were teenagers. Alcaraz broke first, thumping his first time with increasing velocity, but sent the ball turning around the pistol Rafael Nadal, but Rune was superior at the net, winning 12 Ogeron. And again, Alcaraz had the chances, missing 2 break points in Rune's first. Are set to play in the Madrid Masters, which begins on Tuesday against British pair of Joe for the lovers of tennis. Well, for the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, it was Oscar Piastri that beat Max Verstappen after the rock teammates Lando Norris at the top of the driver standing, and of course pole sitter Max Verstappen dropped to second in the race after penalty by cutting the chicken ahead of the Piastri in the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, as Max Verstappen's hopes of recovery were scuppered by 5 seconds point penalty. Front row starter Max Verstappen, he had unfairly caught the chicken to stay ahead of the faster starting McLaren driver.
All the stars on the road.
And having remained comfortably within that 5-point at the sole round of the pit stops. Piastri never relinquished his advantage over Verstappen season, giving him a maiden lead at the Drivers' Championship over teammate Lando Norris. He leads Norris by 10 points with Max Verstappen a 4-2 adrift heading into my alternative tire strategy, but fell short in attempt to overhaul Charles Leclerc for third through the close. Russell on fresher tires to reclaim Ferrari's first Grand Prix podium finish. Ferrari in most of the races, although the 7-time champion was able to keep Norris ended in the Saudi Arabia GP is as follows. Oscar Piastri of McLaren won the game for Max Verstappen, coming second for Red Bull. Charles Leclerc for Ferrari also came third. Lando Norris for both Mercedes drivers. Lewis Hamilton of Ferrari finished 7th. Carlos Sainz finished the top 10. Those are the result of the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Leeds Leeds United, it looks like the promotion party is about to start as they are dreamland after seeing their side put 5 first half goals past Stoke City as promotion. Junior Firpo put Leeds on the brink of automatic promotion from the championship game. For how it means to the fans, and it says return to the Premier League would also be secured. And if the Whites fail to go up this season, that will be a hammer blow to the club. Players will likely leave, and it will be even harder to get promoted next season. So awful riding on this next of also sort itself out for Chelsea. The Tariq Joe alive. Chelsea kept their hope of scoring a return to his first victory away from home since 8th of December 2024 in the Premier League. Fulham, who was dominant home, but Ryan Sessegnon was offside in the build-up in the 20 minutes. However, the Cottagers did score with Alex will be slamming a superb blow finish by Fulham goalkeeper and former Arsenal goalkeeper Ben Aleno. The hosts enjoyed a degree of comfort throughout the second half with a fine strike from the edge of the box in the 83rd minute. And Neto then scored a superb winner in injury time, spinning and powering a brilliant first half volley into the roof of the net, ending Chelsea.
Into the steeple of beautiful people where there's only one kind. So hush not, child.
Okay, Agbatomi, let's quickly 7 draws and 2 losses. For Arsenal, they've got 18 wins, 12 draws, and 3 losses. It's so pathetic for a team that wants to compete for the Premier League title. There is Newcastle United in 3rd with 59 points. There's Man City in 4th with 58 points. There's Chelsea in 60 points. And of course, Newcastle will drop to 4th. Man City will drop to 5th. Chelsea will drop to 6th. And Aston Villa will drop to 7th.
So that means Chelsea's happiness is just short-lived.
So still pushing for a place in Europe next season,
exactly.
Even if it's the Conference League or the...
I think they'll still take it.
I think after Man
Chelsea,
U, Tottenham, everybody collects. Man regular, everything there because only 2 points separate them. Aston Villa are with the top 2.
If Nottingham Forest wins tonight, they go 3rd. And the
just
Arsenal's focus is on the Champions League now.
It doesn't matter. They still defeated
that's Ipswich.
They defeated Ipswich that beat Chelsea and drew Chelsea in every game.
Wow.
They play Crystal Palace next.
They'll play against wow.
Arsenal, they are not under pressure. They've got nothing to play for. The league is done and dusted.
I know.
So they just
That's
play the season out.
But they can also finish 3rd.
I don't think Arsenal's Champions League position is under threat.
No, it's not. I'm talking about their league position.
That's what I'm saying. The Champions League position is
not under threat, but they can finish 3rd.
See, the 6 teams will most likely go.
Let's just
there's no way Arsenal will finish out of the top 4 this season.
Let's just hope.
There's nothing
let's
that
just
would
hope that
happen.
either man.
Manchester United will drop to 15 and Wolves will drop to 16th and West Ham will... Okay, we're done and dusted on the show, but of course, Agbatomi, what exactly was your moment of the week? You've got something for us before we say our goodbyes?
I mean, you wanted to say you were done was I think it has to be Barcelona coming back. 3 goals now. 3 goals one down.
I'm not a fan of wrestling, but of course, because of the job that we do, you have to follow up.
Everything.
So, because the build up to WrestleMania 41 has been on all over my face in like 2 weeks.
On X.
So already, even on pay-per-view TV everywhere, you're watching football that. So massive 127,000 fans in the arena over 2 days. Yesterday night to this morning had almost a fact that I don't naturally watch tennis, wrestling, but I had to stay awake for that one. But it was good. Well, seeing Travis Scott and the vibes in it.
I think
the
US have a knack of hosting good tournaments.
Returns tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m., same station. I'm Milan 19.3. And next up by 7 p.m. is Life is Good with This is your #1 drive time sports show in Lagos. It's a sports cruise. I can tell you.